Hey, genderqueer chat. So sorry, no intro this week because it's that time of the semester, and yeah, any extra 10 minutes I spend in an editing program or 10 minutes out of my sleep, and I'm running on almost zero sleep fuel at this point. So this week's topic is sports. Let's see. So in light of Kai, and I will butcher this last name, um, becoming the first Division One trans athlete, and I'll link the article below, which I think is an interesting article. So in light of that, the topic this week is let's see. Okay, my experience with gender in sports and whether I would play on a men's, women's, or co-ed team. So, sports. I have to admit my kind of passion for sports died after like Foursquare, handball, and maybe Chinese jump rope age. I did though like Micah play a number or participate in a number of individual sports, and I wrote them down. So let's see, I did gymnastics for a long time. I figure skated. I participated in diving. I think I even played tennis at one point to fulfill a PE credit. In high school, and this was actually my punishment when I, like all kids, or a lot of kids, got caught smoking pot for the first time. My punishment was that I had to choose a sport and an instrument to play, which was actually a pretty cool punishment because I chose kickboxing and I started playing drums, and I continued to play drums throughout end of middle school, high school. But anyway, so soccer, I played soccer in high school for PE until I got my nose pierced, and they told me that I couldn't play anymore until I took it out, and I was really stubborn and refused to take it out because I thought it was a stupid rule. So I was put onto the volleyball team. And at that point, I'm sure especially within the locker room, if I had known I was trans or genderqueer, of course gender would have played a huge role, but because I didn't, it didn't play much of a role, and my mind was on other things. Let's see. Oh, I forgot one. I played like one game on the women's or the girls' basketball team in middle school, but just that one game, because then I decided that I don't think we were ditching PE. I think we just hung out on the bleachers and played Truth or Dare. I guess at that point I thought that was a funner activity, so that's what I did. If I had to plan a team, I'd likely choose the co-ed team, unless there was like a trans queer team. That would be really fun. Like, I think that might ignite my passion for sports again. But if I had to choose between a women's team or a cisgendered male team, I would likely choose the women's team, just because I feel like I'd be able to relate to the players a little more. So, okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I wanted to, since we're talking about sports, I did want to bring this up. I was at a dinner party a few weeks ago, and we started talking about gender and sports and standards, and how, and this was mentioned in the article too, that people were allowed to play for a team that was opposite the gender they were assigned at birth after a year of being on hormones. And I think that as a blanket statement is not always going going to be accurate. It's really difficult to set a standard. Sorry, it's screaming dark. It's really difficult to set a standard or a universal standard because sorry, kind of like zoning out for a second because I hear people around the house. Anyway, okay, so really difficult to set a universal standard because you would have to take into account the dose that people are taking and also how that dose affects their body in particular. And it's especially difficult with kids who are on hormone blockers. And then it's not only about where they are in terms of body transition, but also where they feel more comfortable playing. So I kind of feel the same way about sports as I do about education. Like, people develop at a different pace, and people's bodies change at a different pace, and it's hard to kind of set one standard that applies to all people all the time. So it's a really complex topic. So, okay, hope everybody's doing well, and I will see you next